these exact teams. And forever second place, they're able to pull it off. Can they do it again? It's one thing to be able to, overcome a counter every now and then. It's another thing to be able to overcome a slight counter consistently. And, and it's not like these teams on Trolljagarn are, like lesser players. These are tournament #1 champions. This is going to be a very difficult matchup for forever second place. But I mean, like, at the same time, Trolljagarn, they got to be feeling a little bit they got to be anticipating a little bit of competition here, because forever second place, they can find those small opportunities and they can kill anybody. Here we go. We're going to jump into game #1 on a grand arena between these two, forever second place versus Trolljagarn.
Of course, just say forever second place are going to be a little bit salty coming into this, because they did have that incredibly close series against Jamie, Fabio, and Looney yesterday, where they narrowly lost it 3-2. I actually talked to Villay a little bit about the series, and he was saying that he was so upset because they were 2-0 up and they missed a crucial Ring of Frost at one point in one of the games that would have probably won them the series. So it's these close little things between the teams. We do see them opening up onto Fnaber, so this team loves to hit the Resto Druid of an LSD, and they're going to follow it up with the Hodge. He's in a lot of trouble here. He's down to 50%. He's trying to hold on to that trinket. Zeepai just spamming out the heals. Look at the globals. Warwick's is just fair. Zeepai, which is playing Lock Beater, is just spamming out the heals, and Fnaber is going to just hold on to his trinket because of that. Well played by Trolljagarn, good communication. They needed to heal and help their Resto Druid there. We see Linway on the other side having to pop that Wings execution sentence. He was doing such a good job yesterday of keeping his team alive through LSD split pressure, but this is a different LSD now. Warwick's and Zeepai are going to be producing a lot of damage, and they didn't force too much with their opener, to be honest.
I mean, look where Walrix is standing. He's just right on top of them, and even Zeepai is moving in. I like that they've got one caster on one side of the pillar, one caster on the other, so that forever second place peek out from the left side, they get to hit them. Peek out from the right side, they get to hit them. But we see forever second place setting up onto Zeepai. They do manage to force his Shamanistic Rage, and I think Fnabers was trying to predict a swap onto himself. I don't really blame him for trying to pre-Iron Bark, as he didn't have Barskin for it, but that means they get 2 for 1. They get the Iron Bark and the Shaman Rage in one go, and they're still just going through it. Zeepai's taking a lot of pressure here. A full Hex onto Fried Kitty. He's trying to slow down his damage. It looks like a triple Shadow Fury up from Walrix should be enough, and now he's popping the Dark Soul. In a way, he's going to have to hard cast through this damage, and if Walrix can get on top of him, he's just running right into their face. Walrix is unafraid to be on top of this team at the moment, and I think that's proving to be much more useful for their team. They're getting way more pressure. Linway gets locked on his heel. He could easily go down if Zeepai can connect. Here comes the Fulminate. Linway's still in a lot of trouble, but we see a double fear out from Villay. Are they going to set up another swap? I don't think so. They should commit their damage to Zeepai here. They connect the Horrify. Fnabers actually goes into stealth and dispels. I'm not sure if it was the Fist of Justice. He might have dispelled the Fist of Justice, which is a key moment for Fnabers. That was a smart decision to go in stealth at the end of the fear. It denied any potential CC, and he was able to break up their attack. And now Trolljagarn can lead in with a lot of damage. Linway caught into a stun. His entire team at half HP. He's forced to pop the Avenging Wrath. If he can get some casts off, he should be able to stay with us. But he gets caught by a cheeky Earthquake stun. He's trying to get out of line of sight. They should recover. A nice Mass Dispel from Villay is going to remove all of Walrix's damage. Great job by forever second place. They should recover.
Yeah, I really like this from Trolljagarn. They're just playing so offensively. They're sitting in the face of forever second place, and they're trying to try punish them for that. Actually, Warwick's the target of choice right now. He's been sitting on top of them, and they have had enough. He's down to about 70% HP. He had to use that sacrificial pact shield, which is going to keep him alive for now. But it looks like he's just fine. They do force the Iron Bark out as well, so a decent swap for forever second place there. They might have Warwick's thinking twice about going into their face again. We see the CS onto Warwick's, but that's now down, so he's going to be able to free cast with this Demon Soul. Linway does not have his wings available for 40 seconds. This could potentially be a lot of pressure coming out from Trolljagarn if they can just connect, but forever second place doing such a good job of just LOSing, but that does expose them, of course, to the triple Shadow Fury. The Earthquake now placed down below that from Zeepai. If he can get some procs, it could be very worthwhile. We see the bash onto Villay. That's going to force the disperse out, and like we said, there's no wings available still for about 20 seconds. This is a lot of trouble for Linway. We see Warwick summon the new pair. He has that CS available. He can't cast. Villay's in so much trouble, and he does go down just to that pressure. There was not enough healing available for Linway. The CS is from the fact that Warwick is just able to sit on top of him, does secure them game 1.
I think they just got completely dominated.
Yeah.
Trolljagarn just like asserted dominance, like, we're going to stand on top of you because we're that confident in our ability to survive, and we're just going to output more damage than you can deal with. And that seemed to be a lot different than the series we saw yesterday, where the LSD was playing more passively and kind of hanging back, not taking any risks. Trolljagarn were just saying, yeah, we don't care. We can do damage. Let's do damage. I like that, and then just
I'm
pushed in
sure
and did.
that's their Skype. It's just damage, damage. I'm sure.
I mean, there's that setup onto the Druid, the LSD's Druid, in the middle of the map there, where Valet, they were just pumping damage out into him. They got the bark skin in human form, and I'm like, oh, surely he's gonna need to at least trinket or something here. I mean, this is a lot of damage coming in on him. And then you just see like the very confident plays coming out from both Walrix and Zeepai. You get the double heals. Like, he wasn't even topped off. He wasn't even like close to it. He just gets 2 heals off, and he's like, yep, that's just enough for you to be able to survive. I'm gonna go back to do some more damage now. And like, and then all of a sudden they forced him defensive when at that moment it looked like the God Comp had the momentum in their favor. And I think that is really the experience of this LSD being shown there. But we're gonna go into game number 2 in this this Frost Mage, Shadow Priest, Holy Paladin composition for Forever second place. We'll get to choose the map of game 2 as they did lose game 1. And is there really a map that they could go to that would give them an advantage against this team? I mean, we were talking about Ruins of Lordaeron in this matchup a little bit earlier, giving them more opportunity to get those setups that they need to do. But with the amount of damage this LSD is pumping out, I don't know. I'd be a little bit hesitant to go to an open map like that.
Yeah, I think they need a big map where they can run away. I think their only real chance to win against this team, bar some sort of miscommunication on the side of Trolljagarn, is to play out that long game, maybe try get into dampening with Linway's heals. And Linway is doing such a good job of healing through the damage. If he can just find a map, find a position where the other team can't sit on top of him, so he can just free cast a little bit more, then he's going to be able to keep his team stable. And that might mean that they can reach dampening. If they reach dampening, they can get some nice purges on Fnobber's Hots. They might be able to land a kill, but I really feel like they're up against it. This team, Trolljagarn, seems to have their number. They just know if they can push on top of the Holy Paladin, he's going to struggle to heal so much, and they just have to survive a few offensive pushes. Every time the deep freeze is down, of course, Forever second place don't look too threatening, so if they can just push in between those deep freezes, I think they're just going to keep securing these games.
Yeah, I think if Trolljagarn are playing that aggressively, I wonder if they need to commit onto Fnobbers, because he's going to have to go in line of sight. Maybe they could punish Walrix. He's not running Soul Link. He's running the Sacrificial Pact with his Pet Sack, so he's going to take a lot of damage. I'd really like to see them punish Walrix, or maybe just CC him more. It seemed like he was way too free to do what he wanted in that last match. So we often see mages, they like to save their counterspell to interrupt fear when they're attacking, but in this situation, with how aggressive Walrix is, maybe they're just going to have to look to counterspell him in general on damage, because he looked to be pretty dominant in that last match. But here the gates have opened. Trolljagarn are going to move in, get their gateway secured. If Forever second place, they're taking the balcony. You can see Valet and Fried Kitty building up a little bit of damage before their attack. Walrus just charging in, once again getting right on top of his enemies, getting some full rows of dots, not getting interrupted. That means he's going to do quite a bit of damage here to Valet. Linaway's doing a good job to cast through it. Now the Dark Soul is really getting popped, and Walrus just does not care, just standing on top of all 3 members, doing as much damage as possible. Zeepai's kind of hanging back for a little bit. He wants to make sure he can try and stop CC on Flowers, but Linaway gets locked on his heel. They might be looking to take an early game here. Linaway getting bursted and forced to bubble down at 23%. This is looking great for Trolljagarn.
Trolljagarn are just so far ahead already. We do see that swap that we were talking about, 2 Fnobbers though. The bark skin coming out, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough. He actually used the Iron Bark onto Zeepai there, so he doesn't have either of those available. He will be okay for now with that bark skin, but he doesn't have a bark skin or an Iron Bark for the next swap. They could definitely be looking to go on him again, but at the same time we see Linway having to pop out that wings now. He's so low on cooldowns already. He doesn't have Trinket Bubble or wings once this runs out, so he's going to be struggling a lot with the healing. Another triple Shadow Fury from Warwick. He's just been on point with these Shadow Furies so far this series. I think that's every single one has been triple so far this game from what I've seen, as we do see the Cyclone come out onto Linway. Well played by Fnobbers. They're trying to swap it up over onto him though. They need to get his Trinket at the bare minimum here, but unfortunately no stun's able to follow it up instantly. The defreeze comes out now after the Displacer into the DR Hudge, and he's actually trinketing. He trinkets out of that, has to use the Hellstone on the Silence, so a lot of cooldowns forced out from Fnobbers. This is what we were talking about. Maybe if they can just keep punishing Fnobbers first, Trolljagarn pushing him, they can maybe get the kill. They do get the Trinket out there, but he has both his bark skins available. It's going to take them a little while longer. We see another nice double Shadow Fury coming out from Warwick's, and Forever second place might not have time to do 2 more swaps to Fnobbers. They need to still get his skin and then kill him. I doubt they'll be able to kill him for it with the way Trolljagarn's peeling, and it doesn't look like they've got that much left in the tank.
Yeah, I think that Forever second place have kind of all in their strategy at this point, and as long as Fnobbers knows that and can play defensively, it's going to be hard for Forever second place to come back in this match. Linaway has maintained a lot of mana to his advantage, but his healing output seems to be not enough to handle the damage that Walrus is doing. And Walrus is just relentless moving forward here, just getting more and more damage out of a double Shadow Fury. We see a setup here onto Zeepai. Can they get the sheep onto Phenombers? They do manage to get the sheep. This should be the Shamanistic Rage out from Zeepai. He's actually being greedy. He's not responding. Shaman Raging very low on HP. They might be able to just kill him through it because of the late response. Phenombers connects to Nature's Swiftness. He's forced to use the Iron Bark now as well. A very greedy play from Zeepai. He will survive, but now this could be an opening if they can survive the push from Trolljagarn.
Yeah, very well manipulated CC coming out from forever second place there, getting, I think, Fried Kitty blocked, and then he just casted a sheep on Phenombers. So excellent opportunity seeking from Fried Kitty, just trying to go for these desperation plays, and there it pays off. And now they have no defensive cooldowns for 20 seconds. Forever second place need to go for this kill, because once those two trinkets come back up, I just feel like they're going to be too far behind. Although having said that, Trolljagarn are now a little bit reluctant to push in. They're kind of scared of the shadow play. Here is that offensive push. We do see the ice block coming out from Fried Kitty. They need to get this kill here. The Ring of Frost onto Phenombers, the Hodge onto Zeepai. They could well land it if they could just get a follow-up, but unfortunately, I'm not sure. I think they used the Silence onto Zeepai there. Maybe I'd like to see that onto Phenombers, and now he's actually out of CC. Maybe he got a tremor on that Fear. If so, that was well played by Zeepai. And the fact that they couldn't really follow up onto Phenombers means that there's no real kill opportunity for quite a while. We see the trinkets back up on Phenombers. The trinket was used there by Zeepai, but he has the Shine Rage available, so there's quite a few cooldowns back for Trolljagarn. Warwick's, of course, sitting healthy with all his defensive cooldowns available. He's not really the target of choice. He does get locked on the UA right now, though, which means he's unable to stop the Deep Sheep from Fried Kitty. That was the Icy Veins. This is a lot of damage coming out. They might try cut through this Sham Rage, but it looks like that's going to be quite difficult. 4 hots are also on Zeepai, so he's getting quite a lot of healing. He's sitting at about 90% HP. He's letting Phenombers sit through that Fear. I'm not sure if Tremor is available there. We see the Displacer Beast from Phenombers just trying to get back into a healthy position. Now this is Trolljagarn's chance to push, I feel like. Phenombers does have that trinket. He has the Iron Bark available. Zeepai is the obvious target of choice, so he should just be able to pre-Iron Bark the next go, and they can push in on Linwe.
Yeah, it seems like Trolljagarn are in a decent position right now. Dark Soul available for Walrus. He lands a triple stun. Walrus is just going crazy. Fried Kitty down below 20% HP. Linway is going to pop his Avenging Wrath. This is going to boost his healing a lot. I'd like to actually see Trolljagarn pull back defensively here. I don't think they're going to be able to kill through that cooldown, and they're more risking their lives. You can see Zeepai playing halfway on the midfield, now pulling back. We see a defensive bash onto Valet. He actually chose to trinket that, and Valet is playing very aggressive right now. Walrus is going to portal back. He doesn't want to have an opening for forever second place, but they are going to get a setup over on the Zeepai. They don't get the sheep on the Phenombers. They're going to follow up with the Silence instead, and I like this reaction from Zeepai, just trading the Shamanistic Rage right away. Linaway could have participated a lot of damage with his Avenging Wrath as well, but now that he survived, Trolljagarn are going to bring the fight back to forever second place, chasing them down on the balcony. Once again, Walrus just on their faces. Is a Warlock a melee class? I don't even know with Walrus playing like this. He's just staying on top of them the entire time. Linaway's going to have a very hard time healing through this. Phenombers even looking for some Cyclones. If he can get a Cyclone, that's going to put him so far behind. He gets the full clone over onto Linaway. This is going to have to be the dispersion, I would expect. Valet's trying to heal through the damage. He's forced to disperse. Even could be an ice block. He actually doesn't have an ice block for 3 more seconds. If they can follow up any more damage, Linaway gets locked out. This is going to be the game. The Drain Soul up onto Valet. He's down at 5% HP remaining. Linaway is pulling off a miracle to keep his team alive right now. Everyone was so low. He manages to survive, but still, it's just looking so grim. There's just no light to the end of this LSD tunnel.
Bubble just came up in time there for Linwe. I can't believe he was able to get it off, actually. Villa is so low still. The trinket for Linwe does mean they have that one out, but there's just so much damage coming out. The wings is soon available, though, and we do see the swap over onto Phenombers, but this is kind of desperate from them. They do force the Buckskin Beast. There's this trinket available. The Deep Freeze onto Zeepai, denying those off heals. Maybe they're going to get the trinket here. They actually force the trinket and the NS. A great swap from Forever second place, forcing everything out from Phenombers, essentially. So we do see Dampening Sanctic. Maybe he's going to struggle a little bit with this healing, but the fact that he doesn't really have anything left, there's no trinket on Zeepai either. They kind of overlap those two cooldowns there, means that they're in a lot of trouble, Trolljagarn. They're going to have to pull back again, and that's going to give Fresh the second place maybe time to get some cooldowns back. They do have one ice block. Linway had to use his trinket in that exchange, though, so they definitely are exposed to maybe a kill on Villa or Linway if Trolljagarn can just push in, but they feel kind of reluctant right now. Phenombers doesn't have anything.
Yeah, Fnaubers is the one that needs to be careful. He's the only opportunity for forever second place. And Valet is reluctant to leave the pillar. He's running out of mana as well, so his support as a hybrid class is going to start running pretty low here. We see Fried Kitty going in, though, and it looks like they're actually going to attack Zeepai instead. Walrus is doing a good job to fear out Valet, but they do manage to get the Ring of Frost. Zeepai trading out that Shamanistic Rage, but dampening at 13%. I don't think it's high enough to kill through it. If forever second place can stabilize through this next attack, though, from Trolljagarn, maybe they have an opportunity to kill Zeepai. Walrus is just channeling so much damage. Valet has no dispersion for 9 more seconds. He's trying to get out of line of sight here at the balcony. We see a tremor, I believe, from Zeepai on that fear preemptively. It just broke instantly. And we can see Deep Freeze available for Fried Kitty. I think they've got one more good attack left in them. And if they don't manage to get it, I think they're going to lose this game. Valet does have dispersion. He should feel confident to move forward and get some CC onto Fnaubers if he needs to. Here comes the Deep Freeze. This is it. If forever second place don't nail this CC, he gets interrupted on the Sheep. Trolljagarn are going to get very far ahead as a result. Linaway sees that. He's going to trade out his Avenging Wrath. It looks like they're making a swap over onto Walrix. He sees it coming. He's going to trick it out of that Fist of Justice, pull out a pet for an extra interrupt maybe onto Linaway. He's trying to lock him out. Fried Kitty's dipping dangerously low. Even though with that the Avenging Wrath up, Linaway seems to be struggling. He's trying to fake the interrupts. He gets locked on the heel, and he's easily going to go down. Zeepai's trying to finish him off. Walrix should be able to. Valet with the Power Word Shield, the clutch Power Word Shield, giving him a little bit more extra HP to survive, and they've managed to get a full Sheep on the Fnaubers. This could be the turnaround. Walrix doesn't have any cooldowns, but it doesn't matter. Fried Kitty with no blocks remaining just didn't have enough left to take him down, and Trolljagarn are going to take game number 2, and they are looking very good, taking this series possibly 3-0.
Yeah, forever second place, man. There's some swaps onto those druids, onto Fopsy specifically, that just seemed like they were getting so many defensive cooldowns, but Trolljagarn, you know, they stuck to their guns. They did a great job at stopping the setups when they need to, and forcing forever second place offensive when they needed to. And they are going to take a convincing game number 2 here. And now they're just one win away from knocking out forever second place from the tournament here. And we're going to be going into game number 3 up next.
Yeah, Walrix just doubled everyone on damage, man. He almost tripled Fried Kitty. It's a big difference. So it seems like if you're playing LSD versus God Comp and you're the Warlock, you just take off all your clothes and run at the team and never stop and keep running at them like a crazy madman. That's what you should do. You have to be a crazy man, because that's not something you would really expect. It's just like, you'd be like, God Comp, maybe they can just turn around and burst me. Walrus doesn't care. He's just like, la 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 la, I need to dot. You can have some dots. And it works better. Playing like that works better.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be working for them here in this matchup. And, you know, we saw the Shatterplay play against an LSD before and beat them. So the Trolljagarns definitely got everything down pat. But we're going to be finding out if forever second place can pull it back here going into the next game. It's looking rather dire for them, though. I mean, Trolljagarn looks like they are on the ball, and they're not giving them any opportunity to take a win off of them. But shoutouts are up next. I have had quite a few people send us support their way, so I'm just taking a quick moment while we're waiting for these teams to ready up to shout them out. Shoutouts to Fuckus for subscribing. Thank you so much for that sub. I didn't read the name before I just read it. I just said it, but thank you. Toxic63, our admin, he has resubbed for 4 months in a row. Thank you so much, Toxic. I appreciate that, dude. We also got a brand new sub. Fluky has subscribed, as well as BJP14, brand new subscribers. Make sure to get some GCD hypes in the chat when these guys sub. And right now, to show your support to our new teammates. And we also got a 12-month resub from the one, the only, Mr. Bajira himself. So if you have any Bajira flexes, make sure to spam those in chat as well for the support that Bajira has been giving us for an entire year. Thank you so much once again, Jackson, for that love and support, brother. But the game is now ready, and we are jumping back into it on Ruins of Lordaeron. And this is the map choice chosen by forever second place. The Shadow Priest Frostmage Holy Paladin composition shows this map, and what it tells me honestly is that maybe they want to look for more opportunities to kill the druid. I think that's smart too, if they are looking to kill the druid, because every single time they do make those swaps over in the druid, bear form, bark skin, regardless, they're still able to get a lot more defensive cooldowns out of it. So maybe this is what they need here, but I don't know. At the same time, this is going to allow Zeepai and Walrix to just go ham.
God Comp is exceptionally well at killing resto druids, actually. Like in any composition, you can surprisingly kill them through bark skin. So I think that's smart if that's what their game plan is going to be. They need to change something because they're already down 2 games and it's not looking too good for them. So let's see if they decide to do that. I'm sure Fnaber should be expecting it. He's positioned very far back at the moment. He's just going into bear form constantly, trying to get as much defensive measures as possible. Valet, though, gets knocked back away from the tomb, taking quite a bit of pressure here in the middle of the map. Linaway now getting swapped over to, and Oryx is looking to maybe solo him. We saw a counterspell onto the polymorph, I believe, of Fried Kitty, which will not be available for the deep freeze. It looks like Walrus actually pulled out another pet for another interrupt. I'm curious where he's going to put that interrupt. Is he going to save? He actually locked Linaway on his heel. I'm wondering if they can finish him off here. The shield wall comes in. He gets locked again. This could just be the game. Linaway is going to go down. Fulmination connects. Moonfire comes out. Another powered shield. Such a clutch powered shield again from Valet is going to keep Linaway alive long enough to get the bubble off. And now they're looking to make a turnaround over onto Zeepai, it would appear. He's down to half HP. He's going to trade out that Shamanistic Rage right away. He knows that he just needs to be as safe as possible. They need to keep playing aggressive. They got so many cooldowns out from Linaway.
Yeah, Veli really carried the offensive and defensive gameplay there. The shield barely keeping Linway up, and then he uses the disarm and the silence to get that Shamrage out of Zeepai. So they do need to be a little bit careful. A nice defensive phase is going to stop this LSD in their tracks for now. That was the last Demon Cell from Warwick, so if Linway can stabilize here, they should be okay for a little while. He has his wings available in about 30 seconds to see the bop on the bash. Fried Kitty dropping a little bit low, but he has both his blocks available. He doesn't want to have to use them right now, though. He needs to use them to get the CC onto Fnobus so they can actually kill Zeepai. And we actually see the Hodge onto Fnobus. They lock the Cyclone, so he can't skin instantly. The skin does come up now, though. I don't really like this swap from Forever Second Place. I feel like Zeepai was the obvious target of choice there. And Zeepai actually doing an excellent job of pre-tremming the fear from Vilai. As Vilai is now dropping low, he does have that dispersion available. He's going to have to pop it. A nice Cyclone from Linway. He has no breaks, and they actually get the lockout on Fried Kitty as well, forcing the block there, just forcing cooldowns left, right, and center. The wings is now available for Linway, but if he has to use that as well, it's going to be so unfortunate for them. And he actually does a nice double Shadow Fury from Works. They just have so much pressure right now. Forever Second Place are just so far behind.
Yeah, the map is backfiring on them. With only one pillar to run around, Trolljagarn are able to stay right on top of them. They just can't escape the amount of damage that they're able to dish out. Fnaubers is getting ready for a swap. He pre-ironbarks himself. Great ironbark here from Fnaubers. And if they do decide to go through it, they're going to need a lot of damage to back it up. The ironbark is still up. He gets the Nature Swiftness. The silence was just a little bit too late. I mean, they're still forcing cooldowns to get the Hellstone now as well. But Fnaubers will survive, and he'll have Barskin. He'll have his Trinket. Those are both the most important cooldowns that he needs to survive, and Trolljagarn are looking to be in a dominating position.
Yeah, nice pre-ironbark from Fnaubers there, but normally when he does do these pre-ironbarks, Forever Second Place try punish him with swaps to someone else, but as we say that, they're so far behind, maybe they just feel like they have to go for these opportunities to go on the Resto Dread regardless of these things, because Trolljagarn just have every cooldown available, and he gets locked on Frost, and Fried Kitty's going to go down before that second block. He was just trying to cast as much damage out as possible. They needed to get the cooldowns on Fnaubers, but unfortunately, getting punished for it, Linway was just too far behind, and that might really did backfire for them.
By Fnaubers, like, he knew he had all the right cooldowns to live, so he just ran into the middle of the map, and by running into the middle of the map, it meant that Fried Kitty and Valet would have to chase him, which then meant that Zeepai and Walrus could hit them for free, and they got a lot of pressure as a result. So I like that from Fnaubers. He knew he was going to be the target, and he baited them into the open. But that's kind of how I expected the matchup to go, just compositionally. Forever Second Place, just they tried to find some early game Druid swaps on that map. It didn't work out. They weren't able to really connect. They tried some longer games. It still just didn't seem to work for them, and it looks like Trolljagarn are the dominating team in this match. But now we've got Kenitra Tigers versus the Op Boys, and that's going to be a very exciting mirror match, I think I would expect.
Oh, I love me a mirror match, man. That's going to be so exciting. And if you guys want to follow along to where we are on that bracket in real time, make sure to just type !bracket in chat to get that link sent to you, and then you can just follow right along where we are in the bracket. So those are the two lower bracket games for today. We're going to be jumping back up into the upper bracket now, into the semifinals, I do believe. Let me just double check with the head admin. Is that correct? Yep, we got a head nod from Clutter.